So the Ramam in Panu and Sefer Khanfi Yona Cheli Gimel Simin Lamed Vav explains that just like you had Shviras HaKelim, that's represented, the breaking of the vessels, that's represented by the kings of Edom, the descendants of Esav, the Eile HaMelachim Shemalchu Be'eretz Edom, that these are the kings that ruled in the land of Edom, Lifnei Meloch Melech B'nei Yisrael, before a king ruled for the sons of Israel. And it says Ve'ele, and these are the kings. Anytime it says and these, mostly followed Rishonim, it adds on to something that already happened previously. It could have just said Eile HaMelachim Asher Malchu, that these are the kings, but it says and these are the kings, implying there was something that happened before other kings or some other thing that happened. In our context, before this Shviras HaKelim, before this breaking of the vessels, there was something similar that happened previously, and that refers to the 7 generations from Cain until Lamech. and Lamech's sons, Tuval, Cain, and Nama. And what happened to those generations? They got completely wiped out. Cain's generations in the flood got completely wiped out. The only one that survived was Nama. And even Nama had to separate from Noach and the Teva. And Noach's Mayan was Nichvash Kamashanim. But they survived. And this is similar to by the kings of Edom. We're going to see that the kings of Edom correspond to the 7 generations. Now, Cain corresponds with the first king, Bela ben Baor v'shem Yiro Dinhava. Bela, the son of Beor, and the name of his city was Dinhava. Dinhava, so it says, there's a pasuk in Bamidbar, it says, Im yihyel va'er Cain, if Cain will be extirpated. So Bela ben Beor, the Beor of Bela, is the va'er Cain, is the same level as Cain. And then the city Dinhava, it's just like it says by Cain that he had a son named Chanoch, and he built a city, and he called the city Chanoch. Dinhava imamila gematria Chanoch b'mispar katan. So Dinhava comes out to a gematria Chanoch. So then he says Husham's connected the king. The king Husham's connected Yered. Hadad corresponds with Mechuyael. Samla corresponds with Metushael, and Shaul Merchovas Hanahar corresponds with Lemech. And Lemech is Osios Melech; he's the king. Shaul HaMelech. But Shaul of the kings of Edom, he corresponds with Lamech, who killed Cain. Because he was the king, it was his job to judge Cain, just like the 7th generation, Lamech killed Cain. So too Shaul is this idea. And he killed his son Tuval Cain. Tuval Cain was the one who formed weapons first. So therefore, that's why Lamech killed his son with his bare hands, slapped him in between his right and left hands, which are the Chasadim and the Gvuros. And that's why Shaul HaMelech, our Shaul HaMelech, of the kings of Israel, had the mitzvah similarly to wipe out Amalek. Just like Lamech killed Cain, so too the Shaul, our Shaul, he was the king, his judgment was on Amalek, who is the Reshis Goyim of Esav. the head of the so to speak, the kingdom of Esau. Just like Cain was the first of these 7 generations. Now it's interesting that in the times of Shaul they couldn't find Cherav Chanis, and because they weren't allowed to use weapons because of their enemies, but they found one for Shaul and Yonasan. So it's interesting that Shaul had it, even though he corresponds with Lemech. And it says, all that is that Ben Yishachai lo tikun atah malchusecha, that Shaul's kingdom also faltered like Shaul of the kings of Edom. The only one who survived again was Nama, who was his son. But they so meaning to say that Lemech's heritage didn't get wiped out completely. So too Shaul's heritage wasn't completely wiped out. And so what's the Trias HaMesim for all the dead kings? That's going to be Yaakov. Yaakov is, so to speak, the Trias HaMesim, the revival of the dead of these sparks. And these sparks spread out to 600,000. And so this is hinted to in Yechezkel, where it says that the Atzamos were etzem el atzmo, one a bone to another. You had this great revival of the dead, of this tremendous army, and that's the 600,000 sparks that were elevated from the breaking of the vessels. And then, corresponding with that is Shes. Shes was Adam HaRishon's son that survived, unlike Cain's legacy. And he corresponds with, and that's Lifnei Meluch Melech Bnei Yisrael. So Cain's generations were before Shes. That's why it said, and he corresponds with the kings of Edom, and Shes corresponds with Yaakov, or therefore, because that's what the world was established through Shes, that he's the Even Hashtia. He was, so to speak, the Tikkun. So too, Cain's generations were Lifnei Meluch Melech. They were kings that were there before Shes, so to speak, became king. And so these are the Sheva Nekudos, the first Shvira by Cain up to Lemech, Nemuchu Legamrei, and then the Shvira of the Malchei Edom, and then the Tikkun with Yaakov. Yeah. These are Shiva Nekudos, the Chlalas HaTikkun.